Alright, starting match 1 here between Google Pigeon Rank and Apple II for the AHGL, week number 6. We have the Blue Zerg, Spit Hot Fire for Apple II, spawning in the top left, and the Red Terran, me, Torque Stomp, spawning in the top right for Google Pigeon Rank. This game was casted live from my perspective, but for the purpose of complete coverage, I am recasting the replay here with the visibility for everyone in mind. So it will be a slightly fresher perspective on the game than what was portrayed live. We see my SCV rallying out here to build the depot. Zerg player joining up, sending his overlord out to scout. And we do have the second overlord building on 10 drones. We may see an extractor cancel here to catch up. He will just build those 3 drones straight away. And Eco finishes and rallying the SCV back. Zerg player is accruing a fair number of minerals. We'll see if he decides to go for that 14 pool or go for the hatch first. Possibly even the later pool, if he so chooses. He's not sending the drone out for the hatchery just yet, but he is accruing that mineral, so looks like he will go build that hatchery now. There it goes. And we see me. I have not built barracks or anything, so I will be going command center first here, building that wall. We'll see that the Zerg player scouts it immediately with his overlord, building that spawning pool after the hatchery. Building a lot more drones. We have my barracks going down here to complete the wall off. This is tight. This is actually almost 6 pool proof too. It's a little dicey if the... Actually, I'm not sure if this is 6 pool proof. The command center would have a lot of health. The barracks is also partially exposed. So they might be able to pare down the barracks. The key thing for Ling Aggression is that you want to focus the buildings that are still under construction, because they can't be repaired. And once the building is finished and is able to be repaired, well, then you're screwed, because then the SCVs can just out-repair the Ling damage. Alright, you see my SCV running out. I do scout double gas here. Hatchery finishing. We'll be getting those orbitals. Overload going to the natural. I have 1 gas. See the Zerg accruing a lot of money. Not taking advantage of these double gases just yet. He is sending drones into them now, but just 2 and 1. So this is more efficient per drone for the amount of gas being collected. 3 drones on 1 geyser will collect less gas than 2 on 1 and 1 on another. But obviously you do have to spend more for that, so he will saturate those now. But he's rather low on minerals. Quite a bit of gas. We'll see if he goes speed. He does. He does go speed here. Pokes with a bunch of Lings, but there are 3 Marines about to be here, so he should be well covered. This Marine almost dies, but survives. Goes into the bunker. Command center landing here. And what am I starting? I'm building 2 more barracks and a factory. Zerg player is getting that layer. But still, and he's getting a banding nest, as we'll see. Main now fully saturated. Natural a little low on the drone count. And I predict we'll see a scan from the Terran player in a couple seconds. Here on the layer. Another inject pops. Stim starting. Tech lab on the factory, so there will be some tanks. There's that scan, seeing the bandling nest, speed almost done, and layer building. But the Zerg player's economy is not very good at this point. You see the Terran player getting his natural saturated with those SCVs. Main is pretty saturated. More add-ons going down. Looks like he thought about getting the Overlord here, but seeing it pull away, chose not to. More gas is going down on the natural before the drone count up there is very high at all. We do have a drone moving out here. It will be going to build that third hatchery. So we'll see what follows from there. Engineering bay going down. Combat shield, stim, a tank, lots of Marines on the way. Supply is relatively even, which at this juncture favors the Terran player. As a Zerg player, you really want to be ahead of supply because your units are not as cost effective as the Terrans, particularly when they have those upgrades. We see the engineering bay being selected here, but nothing came of it. More depots going down to complete the wall off here. Bunch of Lings hanging out by the watchtower. One of them looks like it took a little damage. Not sure what that was from. Creep tumor. Natural fully saturated. Third almost done. Main fully saturated. Well, we do have that Spire going down. And it looks like Stim and Combat Shield are just about to finish up. Starport going down. Tank not producing. Factory not producing right now. Just a bunch of Marines. A couple Marauders. Overlord going in. Drops a change on, but that will get killed. +1 being started. A second engineering bay goes down. We have a tank up here for defense. Another Overseer will go in to scout. We'll see this tank. More Marauders, more Marines. Money for the Zerg player is getting pretty high. It looks like he is just saving for that Spire, though. He does have some excess minerals, which you'll probably want to dump into these. Nothing much else going on. No centrifugal hooks. Another inject. More Overlords. He's supply blocked. Wanted to flood Mutalisk, but didn't have the supply to do it, so we see 7 Overlords popping out now. There's a Queen of the Third, but there's no drones, so this is just a larva source right now. Bunch of Marauders, Marines, a couple tanks sitting at the front. Terran player looks like he's just content to sit here. For the time being. Overseer floating around. Another Overseer comes in. Go back off. We have a second engineering bay. It's not doing anything quite yet. And see another change in main snipe. Terran player looks like he's moving out to get some sort of position. And we have 10 Mutalisks now building. That supply cap here. Zerg player is going to take that gold base. A few drones coming in natural. Mutalisk pop. We'll see where they go. He's got a couple Lings and Banelings here at the tower. But the Terran is bunkering down. He's got 2 tanks siege, a third one ready to go. He's trying to get the gold. Maybe a little greedy here. We'll see that SCV get sniped by the old mountains immediately. You can see a cancel on this command center. To save those minerals. You'll see that cancel go down at the last second. Lings run in here, but there's tank siege up. There's a lot of bios here. Banelings will almost get knocked back, but you see the bio back. And Stim goes down. The tanks focus, but all the Mutalisks die. The Overseers die. The Lings die. There's some random SCVs out here. Medevac's popping to cover those Stims. And looks like they're just going to start mining from the gold. We do see that command center go down again, but the Terran player is now way up in supply. He's over 30 ahead in supply. And so he's going to push out here, and he's going to attempt to punish the Zerg player, who threw away a lot of Mutalisks. Throwing away the Lings and Banelings is okay, but throwing away the Mutalisks, you can't do that. Those Mutalisks cost a lot of gas. They're a major investment. You want to make sure you get a lot out of it. This gold capture will go down pretty quickly. No chance for the Zerg defender here. We'll see what he does try to do. He's crewing Zerglings and Banelings here. Former Banelings. Bunch more Zerglings. The Terran will push down here. Gets a few creep tumors. Banelings rush in, but they get a tank and a few Marauders. The Marines are sitting in the back protected, and they focus down all the Mutalisks. Supply now massively in favor of the Terran. He will push up this ring. Alright, Alright, third almost finishing. Turrets for defense. He's trying to take down this national master. Yeah, Zerk all GG. That'll be the end of game number 1. We're now up 1-0 for Google Pigeon Rank. And we'll be heading into game number 2 shortly. Alright. We're now heading into game 2 between Apple 2 and Google Pigeon Rank. We're going to have the Terran player Island Cow versus the Protoss player Dr. Wonga here on Yansu Ladder Edition. Google Pigeon Rank is 1-0 in this matchup so far. The match is a best of 5 with 4 matchups and players set in stone, and the ace match, should it come to that after a 2-2, is chosen by the captains at the time. They can choose any player, any race to play in the ace match. So we'll have the red Terran, Island Cow, spawning in the top right here. The blue Protoss, Dr. Wonga, spawning in the bottom left. And we're off. No workers leaving immediately, so no crazy shenanigans in this game. But there's plenty of shenanigans you can do after the first minute. It makes the game quite non-standard. Alright, SCV moving out to make that depot. Pylon building. Close to the Nexus, not out here. Which is probably a good idea on this map. This ramp is a little wonky. Can't put a lot of buildings near there, whereas right here, there's a whole lot more real estate. So you can fit many more buildings. I think the pylon is too close to the Nexus. Yeah, I think that's only 4, maybe 5 spaces, so he won't be able to fit 2 buildings in there. But he will be able to fit 1 just fine without inhibiting that gas mining. We're seeing double gas, a 4 gateway here. Now I don't think this build is optimal in any respect, but if I were to predict, I would say that we're going to see DTs here, or at the very least, a very fast Oracle to take advantage of this gas. See the gateway go down now. We have a barracks building here for the Terran, and his gas is much more conservative. We'll see how many workers the Protoss player throws into these geysers. So he is rallying them straight out of the Nexus. He's not going straight into 3-3. So there's a potential for a build optimization here, because there's no reason to build this geyser that early if you're not going to put workers in it. The correct solution, obviously, is to get the gateway sooner and then build the gas only such that it'll finish when you're ready to put a worker in it. So small inefficiency there. Marine building, no Reaper, though there is enough gas for it. We'll see what he decides to do with that gas. He's going to get a tech lab. So it looks like he's going to get some, probably go for an early stim timing. If he wanted to do really fast marauder pressure, he probably would have proxied this barracks. Cybercore, second pylon going down. 3 in each gas right now. A lot of chrono saved up here. It's unfortunate. Should really be spending that on other things. A lot of gas accumulated, and he just has no way to spend it right now. So we'll see what he decides to dump that into. Again, I suspect we'll see a Twilight Council and maybe a Dark Shrine, but the gas is a little early, so we'll be able to afford those DTs just fine. If that's where he chooses to go. More Marines rallying out. Not quite enough gas to use this tech lab yet. Zealot building. Cybercore's done, so we'll see the Protoss player's decision. But without a Stalker, alright, Mothership Core is building now, so he'll eventually be able to chase this SCV away, but clearly wants to get it out of here before he reveals his tech choice. Second barracks going down for the Terran. Factory almost done. And a bunch of Zealots queued up. No Stalkers. He's getting that second gateway. And it's not... His SCV is gone. Alright, it is retreating back home. He has not decided to throw down any tech yet, and he really should. He's got 450 gas burning a hole in his pocket here. He needs to take advantage of that. See our Terran player rallying more and more Marines. And what is he building? He's building a starport and a third barracks. No command center. A little bit of a supply block here. The famous 27/27. Kudos to Total Biscuit. And we're going to see a lot of some pretty strong one-base aggression here from the Terran. Supply block is hurting him pretty badly, though. We have a Widow Mine. Should see a Medevac springing up. But another depot in the wall. Protoss suffered through his own supply block. We only 2 more pylons here. A lot of units queued in this one gateway, nothing queued in the second one. Another little bit of a mistake. Still got a ton of minerals, ton of gas that he's not spending. Not spending this chrono. Hasn't started Warp Gate. He's gonna. Oh, he has another 4 over here to grass. Picks off a couple SCVs. We'll get a third one, just barely. But he needs to. He will just barely get away. Unless he doesn't retreat enough. The Marines are in fact faster than the Treasure Corps. Throw that as a time warp for their tree, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you might as well use the recall to be safe, right? I suppose the time warp is more instantaneous. You could still die while recalling, whereas a time warp would let you get away. But either way, it's 100 energy sunk that you'd rather have not sunk, because it doesn't help you in combat at all. We have more units queued up, 2 sentries on a Zealot. But despite all this queuing, our Protoss player still has a ton of money, and our Terran player does not. He's ahead by 16 in supply. So, supply blocked again. Needs to fix that. In fact, we will see the Terran player move out soon. He's got 1 Widow Mine here in a medevac. That will drop here. We'll see how quickly the Protoss player reacts to it. Does throw down that Twilight Council, but he's got no Robo, no Stargate. Medevac was revealed briefly. We'll see what he's looking at. So, we're looking at our Protoss player's visual here. Looks like he did see the Medevac, but he's not looking at it right now. Sending the Mothership Corps back in, and unfortunately, here goes the Widow Mine. He's looking to kill the Gets. And what? What the heck? What? Where'd the Widow Mine go? It just fired. Where? What? Did you guys see that? Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, that was dumb. I was still on. But yeah, I mean, a bunch of Stem Marines, 2 medevacs supporting. Looks like our Protoss player is done here. 2 of mine accused. 6 kills total. Everything's unpowered. Working is done. Protoss player has nothing. He's got 16 probes. And that number is rapidly going here. Terran player pushes in. We will see GG called any second here. Down to 3 supply. He is microing this Mothership Corps with the Viking. Does take it out in the end. Nexus down, and that's it. There is literally 0 way the Protoss can get back to this game. So we should see GG called any moment. No GG. That's a rarity for the AHGL. But it is what it is. Alright. Match 3 beginning here. Google Pigeon rank is now up 2-0 versus Apple II. We will be having a ZVZ on Frost Ladder Edition between the Red Zerg Null Space for Google Pigeon rank and the Blue Zerg Segalian for Apple II. Though it finishes rather quickly. We have Segalian spawning here on the bottom right, and already, unfortunately, he's rallying his Overlord to the wrong position, and Null Space is rallying it to the correct position. So, Null Space has some degree of advantage here. His opponent will, obviously, upon seeing the Overlord, know precisely where Null Space is, but he won't have that Overlord vision into the base. So he won't have advantage of getting a free scout on spawning pool timing, gas timing, hatchery timing, etc. without sending that there drone to go do it. Extractor trick here from Null Space to get that 11th drone out a little earlier. And we're going to see it coming here from Segalian too. a little bit later. He will go to scout with this drone. And he should, and he does. He sends it in the opposite direction of the Overlord in order to maximize his coverage. So we'll get to see that base. And we'll see if Null Space here does the same thing. And it looks like he will. He will send that Overlord north. Overlords do not meet here, so he doesn't get that lucky indication of knowing where its opponent is. Luzerg's drone will find Null Space first. We have an early pool. This looks like a 12 pool here. Now a 12 pool is a very strangely timed pool, and most often it indicates that a roach rush will be coming. We do have that extract going down. And a hatchery for the Blue Zerg is going hatch first. Let's see what his drone has scouted. He did poke in here. Saw the spawning pool, but didn't check him out. He did see the gas too, but he did not scout around much. So he's operating on a fair bit of information for a low drone poke, but not much more than that. We do have that spawning pool going down for blue. 2 Zerglings here, just 2, and the queen. So we will see Null Space getting just enough to deny that scout, and I suspect that we will see a roach warren building any second now, once he has those minerals. Gas going down for Galleon. Pool not quite done yet. We will have enough minerals for those double queens. So we do see speed instead. Just an early pool for that speed. A few lings. And he continues to mine with 2 drones, so I suspect we'll see some Baneling follow-up. Null Space does wisely pull his Overlord out. Wants to get it far, far away before the queen gets up, because it doesn't, so he doesn't lose that. 2 lings will poke in here, but will not be able to get too much done. We have 2 out for the Blue Zerg, with 4 more on the way. And these red lings will have to run. Go back home. 12 lings building. And we do have enough resources for that Baneling nest, so I suspect we'll see it thrown down any second. Blue Zerg is going to move in with his Overlord, and he'll soon see that there is no expansion. There goes down that Baneling nest, deep in the back. And actually we are going to see an expansion. But the Blue Overlord does see these lings. We'll see if he looked at that. Perhaps just registered on the minimap. He was building that Baneling nest for defense. Couple lings chase away the drone, delay that hatchery. But here we go. Speed is done, and there is no speed. No nothing for the Blue Zerg. He will wall with 2 queens on the ranch turn. He does have a 3rd, but that 3rd thing can die immediately. And he can engage with these lings. He cannot go very far from the queens at all, because speedlings have complete ownership over when and where to engage. You do have those Banelings building, and they do look to be just out of vision of the blue player's Overlord, but he is going to scout them now. Spider senses take hold. We have defensive buildings building for the Blue Zerg. A lot, 6 Banelings building for the Blue Zerg, so we'll see how these trades go. I don't think... Red will not be able to bust into the main, but I don't think that's his goal. I think he's trying to get this happening. 3 lings die there. A couple lings poke at these Banelings. A massive explosion, and all that remains is 2 Banelings. 2 queens. We have 14 lings building for our Blue Zerg player. And Null Space here, without that second hatchery up and running, is rather down in supply. He's building 10 lings. We have 18 building for Sigalian here. So he is going to immediately go for that counterattack. We have a Roach Warren finishing, but I don't think he can wait for roaches. I think he needs Banelings now. And he's sending these lings out. Oh no. He can't do that. He needs Banelings. He's going to be outnumbered in lings here. Has to pull back, but he's got no lings to morph Banelings here. Well, there are no more blue lings rallying. There are only a few. So we're going to see some defensive Banelings. And, oh no. I think Null Space will hold here, but the thing is, he is economically behind. And for the sole purpose of all this larva Loses the 2 banelings. Will rally in here, but there's a bunch more. Another great defense here by Null Space. Those 2 banelings being super cost effective, and Scallion will not be able to push in with these. In fact, those banelings are forfeit. They have no ling defense. There are no lings rallying. Blue players building drones, getting that layer. So those banelings are dead. They will try to run. And he does in fact give this one red Zergling the slip, bobbing in and out of this shrubbery which blocks line of sight. Null Space's Zergling is not the wiser. This little baneling will retreat back home. Took one little hit, but it is already recovered from that. And we will move on to the second stage of the game. We have 35 drones for the blue Zerg, and only 23 for the red Zerg space. We have a bunch of roaches here that are sitting defensively, and that's misappropriation because there's nothing coming his way. Blue Zerg is happily mining away, sitting on his queens, his spines, his couple banelings. He will throw down that spire, and it is now, we have no lair coming for the red Zerg Null Space. So it is on Null Space to recognize that he needs to do damage, and then do that damage. And he's building 2 Evo chambers here, he's building a wall off. He's getting all these defenses for this massive ball of lings, which just isn't being built. And we will see Scallion get these defensive spines. He may throw up some Evo chambers for a wall as well. His Spire is half done. He's got much more gas income than the red Zerg, who has not yet taken the gases out of his natural. His natural is undersaturated on minerals as well. Blair is only just now getting close to finishing for the red Zerg. So what we will see here is we will see Scallion probably dump all of his gas into mutas. He may create lings in the event that he sees a third, but Overseer does run in and sees none of that. Two things running by each other here. This line will lose. He will see the lair, but he'll be happy to see that there is no Hydrogen, no Infestation Pit. Spores going down now, maybe in a direct reaction to seeing that Overseer flying in. Do have +1 attack starting. And Null Space is now, he's going to fight an uphill battle against these Mutalisks, which will happily deny him taking a third base for a very long time. He does delay his opponent's third, but those lings will get picked off, so the third will build soon after, and Null Space is going to need these Hydralisks to get done. Gotta get a few Overlords picked off here, unless the Mutalisks decide to fly right between them. We'll occupy this space here. We'll go down to focus the Queen. We'll get it. Doesn't take any spore shots. And he's just going to harass here. Null Space may consider moving out with these roaches, but it will get whittled down heavily on the way over. Another Overlord getting picked off. This one will supply block him. Just build more Overlords. Upgrades will finish. Those will not get picked off, despite the lack of spore coverage. We'll go pick off another Overlord. Null Space will scout the third here, but there's not much you can do about it with these Mutalisks on the map. Does finish that 1-1. The Mutalisks will simply go on patrol here. 10 out, 3 more building, +1 air missiles, just about to finish. We do see an infestation pit going after the Blizzard, so it does not look like he's going to overcommit on these Mutalisks. Just picks off a Hydra or 2 and gets out. Does have an Overlord here to spot the third. A few lings to spot this other one. And he's going to happily just keep building those drones. Despite the massive drone advantage here for the blue Zerg, we do see that supplies are not as far apart as they could be. As a result of building all these units. But he can't move out. He only has 3 Hydras and a Queen. And that loses to these Mutalisks, so he can't move out. Can't take a third. We have 6 Swarm Hosts building for Sigalian here. So he's not overcommitting to these Mutalisks. He's looking to take this into a stable late game. And he's perfectly set up to do that. He has the Red Zerg contained here on 2 bases. Very undersaturated 2 bases. While he's happily mining on 3. He's got complete map control with these Mutalisks. No space is not able to push out. He's building Hydras, but he only has a few. And here he goes. He's going to sweep in, pick off another Hydra. Almost gets a second one by refusing to score. And at this rate, he's just going to keep this Muta count up and not let Null Space get to a critical Hydra mass where he can move out. By the time that Null Space is ready to move out, there's going to be a ton of Swarm Hosts sitting here for defense. We've got 8 here, 9 here, 3 more building. Mutalisks constantly flying around, denying this front. Focus is down a Roach, but Hydra seeing in the back. It does make it a little bit more difficult to focus them, especially if they do have that Tonky. He will push. He looks like he's going to try to take this third here. He definitely needs it. He has half the drone count of his opponent. His opponent is rapidly pulling away in supply. We need to see Null Space take that third and push out, do some damage. During Locust finishing soon. We have the Blue Zerg going for Hydralisk as well, but no Roaches. So these Roaches are the one thing that Null Space has that his opponent does not. He's going to take down this Overlord here. He will push into the third, but again, Sigalian sees this coming from a mile away. So he will burrow these Swarm Hosts here. Sigalian off the ramp to defend. Mutalisks spotting the high ground, and Null Space is going to have to run like hell. We'll see, you see his heart sinks here as he sees this Locust. He can't engage this. These Locusts are free units. They're just going to shell away. And in fact, they're almost even in range to deny this third, which is kind of scary. See the second wave spawning. Blue Zerg Sigalian is almost maxed here. A few more Overlords, 15 Hydras coming. We have the tier 2 upgrades here for the Red Zerg finishing this with Hydra, but he's losing a ton of stuff against these Swarm Hosts. He can't engage these Focus. He's losing by his entire army here. He's getting shelled apart. Hydras come out. Another wave. GG is called. Alright. We're starting match 4 here between Apple II's Fran, Terran player, and Google Pigeon Rank's Osaki, Protoss player, here on Polar Knight Ladder Edition. We are now 2-1, Google versus Apple here in this match. So if the Terran player wins, we will go to an ace match. We have Terran player, Fran, spawning here in the southern position, and Osaki spawning in the northern position. No workers rallying out straight away, so no crazy proxies, at the very least. What strategies are good on this map? The natural is unique. There are these back rocks here, but you rarely ever see anyone go for these to get to the natural because, you know, your defenses, which you normally have here, cover this pretty well too. We do have that pylon going down. You'll see that supply table go down here. A little off. There's a gap here, so we won't be a full wall. But unfortunately, he's not being proxy gated by Zealots, so we'll be okay. We have an early, what's this SCV? Is he building a proxy barracks? He's building a proxy barracks. So it looks like, we'll see if he builds another, okay, so he does build that other SCV, so he's going to build a barracks, alright, and now he's going to see him get a geyser here. And this will be a proxy Reaper build, based on this positioning. The Reaper will have to hop this way, but it's still really, really close. And Yep, there goes that geyser. So we're going to need to see Osaki get wind of this somehow. Whether throws on a second pylon. And no gases yet. You need gas to defend this. It's not very effective against Protoss nowadays because of that mothership core. But we're going to see the barracks finish now. And Osaki will only just be starting his cyber core in a moment. So this Reaper, you should see a Reaper building any second, just waiting on that gas. There's the gas and there's the Reaper. So the SUV will scout here, and the Reaper will have some period where it just has free reign over this base. We might see a Zealot would help here, because you force the Terran player to micro a lot more heavily in order to defend the Zealot. And in fact, we see Osaki chronoing out this Zealot here. SCV will be on patrol. He may be thinking about building a bunker and defending with the Reaper. That is a possibility. SCV will run from the Zealot. We'll see what Osaki builds here. We need to see a Mothership Core or a Stalker. So there goes the Stalker. He's going to go Stalker, Warp Gate. The Reaper is going to have to micro against the Zealot for a while. He's doing that. We have a second Reaper rally. Zealot will run, and that Stalker's almost out, so it looks like Osaki is simply going to lose a Zealot here. He does rally some probes to try to defend the Zealot, but the Zealot does go down, and we should see him begin to rally the Stalker. Does try to focus down one, but the Reapers do get away. So just 2 Reapers, and I don't think that was worth it. We see the command center going down for Fran. We do have a factory building, so he will transition out of this. Just going to micro the heck out of these Reapers. We'll see if he tries to focus down some probes. Shoots the one in the gas, which is not ideal because they do get to vanish kind of thing. Does a lot of shared damage. 1 kill, finally. 2nd kill. 3rd kill. Stalker needs to defend. 3. Be a 4th kill. 4, 5, 6. Come on! Stalker! Oh no! He's going to try to rally back with these probes, but Reapers will micro happily against that. We did see Osaki building a Nexus here. Reapers do finally run away. And Marine rallies out of the barracks. I imagine we'll see that lift off soon. It won't be able to do much more good here. The Protoss player is down to 12 probes, and he will have that second Nexus, but the Terran player also has a second command center. Shoot this turn to an orbital. There it goes. Finally builds that Mothership Core. Really needs probes right now, though. Does have 2 warp gates. Barracks will run away. You have that Widow Mine here for defense, so Terran player is expecting some retaliation. Definitely, but the question is, has he seen... No, he has not seen the expansion. So he's right to expect some retaliation. If you don't know that the Protoss player is going for macro, then you need to defend. Engineering Bay, Starport going down. We have 2 Widow Mines here for defense. 2 Tech Flags buildings, so I expect we'll see Stim and Combat Shields going down simultaneously. These 2 Reapers will poke out, but they will not be able to get up this cliff. They will have to take the long way to do anything. We'll see how quickly he's able to pull back here. And the answer is not quickly enough. Loses 1 Reaper, second one does get in. We'll scout a little bit. We should see a warp in from the Protoss to defend this. Again, targeting the probes in the gas is not what you want to do with Reapers, because they will just hop in, force you to switch target. Reaper will go around back this way. We'll get to the natural. Takes a few shots, but the Stalker will finish him off. Does see that expansion, but upon seeing the second Nexus, he should know that it's safe to expand, and that he's not being all in here. All in all, the Protoss player does not seem to actually be that far behind. He does have a stronger army. So we could see him try to move out here and delay this expansion. That is something he can do, and that's something he probably needs to do to get back in the game, because he is behind on those workers. He's got 22 probes against 30 SCVs and 2 orbital commands. Cannot discount the power that these mules have. A Terran player on one base is more effective mining than any other race on one base, because of those mules stacking on top of the SCVs. Reactor going down, so we will see some more medevac production from the Terran player. He's going to send a drop out here, and with no detection, these Widow Mines are going to help quite a lot in defense. We'll see if we'll see how he defends this drop, and we'll see what Osaki does here with these units. He's got to do some level of pushing, some damage. I think he definitely has enough to overwhelm the front here, but there's no reinforcement pylon to sustain this attack. We have one going back here, but could build one a lot closer, definitely. Drop going in now. Unit's still just sitting here, and we'll see how Protoss reacts to this. One Widow Mine gets a single kill. Second Widow Mine gets 3 kills. And we're just going to see this medevac run around, probably going to drop more here at the natural. Mothership Core gets too close, third and time warp dies, so he loses all high ground vision. And Widow Mine takes out a Stalker. He's got quite a lot of units here, but these bio units do have stem, they will pull SCVs for the surround, and everything evaporates. Very good hold here by the Terran player. The rest of these units will die. We should pull these SCVs back. Not quite sure what happened to the other Widow Mine. There are 2 here, sitting in the main. 2 Marines. Medevac does retreat, so the third, something happened with the third Widow Mine, but I'm not sure where it wound up being dropped, unfortunately. We see the Protoss player is down to 15 probes, and he's got no detection. So these Widow Mines are just constantly hammering away at his economy. This one is 8 kills now. This one is 6. +1 finished in here. Pylon will get taken out. And we'll see the Terran player push out here, and the Protoss just does not have the supply, the income, the anything to survive. He's abandoning his main. Can't handle these Widow Mines. Got 3 Zealots and a Stalker, and that's just not enough to handle this bio wall coming in here. So we're going to see the Protoss player die here in a minute. Does manage to get one of the Widow, neither of the Widow Mines. Fire is diverted by the bio in the last second. And GG is called. Alright. We're going to go into game 5 here. It is 2-2 in Google Pigeon Rank versus Apple II, so we're going to an ace match here. We will have Sigalian, the Zerg for Apple II, going against Torque Stomp, me. I will be playing as Protoss in this match here on Dallas Point. Alright, we have me, the red Protoss, spawning in the bottom right, and Sigalian, the blue Zerg, spawning in the top left. We are off. We'll see what these players choose to do. This match is everything. Everything is riding on this match. Whoever wins this game takes the whole series. See a probe going out here. We'll build that pylon, so it looks like we'll see the Protoss player wall in here at the ramp. Zerg player getting that 10 Overlord. So it looks like there's going to be some extractor canceling here. So we will get that 11th drone. Single extractor cancel. He's going to scout out with this drone. That looks like a very precisely timed build. Overall, it looks like the drone will pass right by this probe as it comes in. And we'll see what it finds. More probes building. Looks like a little chrono was spent on those probes. Come in here and we'll see the Zerg player just accruing money, going up to 15 drones before a pool or anything, so we see him dodge out with this drone here, and it looks like the probe has seen it. This drone is going for a hatchery, and the probe is gunning to deny it. but he's not going to get there in time. Hatchery goes down, and that's a shame. You really want to delay that if you can. Not let him get that pool first. Not let him get that hatchery first. Force him to get the pool first. One gas, gateway. Drone just bouncing back and forth here, being a little annoying. Protoss doesn't really doing anything about it. He does go in here. He will scout that spawning pool, and no gases just yet. There goes gas. Drone will evacuate. Cyberpunk goes down. So we do have a pretty tight wall here. Just takes one zealot to hold that position. Hatchery is halfway done. Overlord camping out here. Looks like we have a second Overlord on the way to hang out over here for some secondary scouting. And we'll see what the Protoss player's follow-up is right now. He's a little undersaturated on minerals. Probe again, just like scouting around. Seeing what we can find. Looks like he will rally over this way. He may be checking for a third. Maybe trying to do something sneaky. We see Warp Gate going down and a Nexus. So the Protoss player will be expanding here. Spornicle finishes, double Queens on the way. Mothership Core building. And I imagine we'll see a Zealot. There goes the Zealot. Zealot will be rallied here to hold that wall in the event that Zerglings do arrive. Speed starting for the Zerg player, so he will have some aggressive potential. He may just use it for defense, though. You have that second gas going down. More probes building, and a pylon up here. We'll see if the Protoss player is looking to get a Stargate, Twilight Council, Robo, some other such thing. Though his gas is a little bit slow for Stargate at this point. Nexus almost done. Drones popping out here at the natural. A second queen popping here, so that'll probably be for creep spread more than anything else. Just the one geyser. We do have 100 gas accrued up, so he could choose to go early lair. But on just 2 bases with the natural not yet saturated very much at all, that would be an odd decision. Nexus finishing, so you'll see some double probe production soon, I imagine. 3 warp gates going down, and warp gate is almost done. What else do we have? We do have this probe. Oh, this probe is moving now. Looks like he will be building a proxy pylon. There it goes. Overlord's popping out. Zergling's popping out. We do have that Creeper Queen starting its work. And the drone goes down here to build the 3rd hatchery. Nice and early. Not a lot of drones at the natural just yet, but that seems to be fine. We have pneumatized Carapace finishing up, so our Zerg player will be using these Overlords very heavily for scouting. It'll be very difficult for the Protoss to deny them at all. We have 2 Speedlings snuck their way here into the drain. They will get a probe. They get a second probe. One of the Zerglings dies, but then, oh no. This is a shame. So it looks like our Protoss player here thought that he had the Zergling surrounded, and he just queued the command to stop it, but this one Zergling is dying a lot of mining right now because of this attack command. But it will die now, and the probes will get back to work. We have a pylon here. Looks like that the Protoss is postulating some aggression, but this pylon is going to be denied immediately. And yeah, we'll see the Protoss kill some Zerglings and then back up. He cannot pursue this without reinforcements being available. So the 3rd will go up. Not a problem. See the Protoss throwing down gas at his 3rd. It's at his natural. Sorry. And just sitting on 4 warp gates right now. Ah, there's the tech. We have a Robo. It's a very late Robo, though. There's a ton of Zerglings here, so we'll see what the see if the Protoss can hold this. This is a lot of Zerglings. It does have an overcharge on the Mothership Core. Weird force field goes down, but that photon overcharge does go down. Zealots die. A bunch of sentries die. Sentry full of energy dies. Another sentry dies. All the units are gone. But most of the Zerglings are traded away in the process, and overall no probe damage was done. So, fairly even trade, most likely, in the grand scheme of things. We have another Creeper Queen, I think? Yes, we have 2. We have... Ah, never mind. There we go. 2 Evo Chambers. So, +1 missiles is starting. We have a Hydralisk Den going down. and Overseer flying around here. Super fast Overseer with that Nematized Carapace. And did he? And he just canceled the Hydralisk Den, and he builds a Spire instead. Where's that Spire? Spire is building back here, so this looks like a direct response to seeing this Robotics Bay go down. And he's going to keep this Overseer on, just keep it moving around. He'll want to catch if the Protoss is doing any sort of tech switching. Let's see if that roadway is canceled and scouted. You have an Immortal building. Bunch more drones. Supply is fairly even right now. But again, neither player has a whole lot of units. So neither one really wants to move out at the moment. Yeah, in fact, we see the Zerg player only has 4 Zerglings. That's it. That's all he has right now. He is relying, these 4 Zerglings look like they will take out this Zealot. Yeah, it looks like he's relying entirely on his map vision at this point to prepare any necessary defenses. 14 Lings building. 4 Stalkers, a Colossus. Should see that extended thermal lance starting soon. Doesn't have the gas for it just yet. It looks like our Protoss player is going to a 3rd. Relatively early 3rd. We'll see if the Zerg decides to punish this. He does have 6 Mutalisks on the way. +1 missile attacks for flyers starting just there. Do you have an Observer here? It looks like the Observer has in fact seen the Spire at this point. Yeah, he has. But whether he's seen the Mutalisks is, we don't know. The player noticed. He did move the Observer just after those Mutalisks came out of vision. So the Mutalisks are coming down here, and there's nothing defending this mineral line. Looks like we're going to see a decent amount of probe snipes. 6 Mutalisks right here. They will fly in. And we need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 probes. Looks like he's going for a 6th. He does get the 6th. I don't know. Sure, Protoss player targeted these rocks for a little while. Zerg does scout the 3rd. But it was a nice flyby there with the Mutalisks. Gets 6 probes for free. Building 5 more Mutalisks. Gets a scout on the 3rd. And the Protoss is now pretty down in economy. It's only got 44 probes versus 67 for the Zerg player. 44 probes is not enough to saturate these 3 bases. Mutalisks fly in, but they cannot engage this army, and they know that. So they will back up. We have 2 Forges down for the Protoss player. Currently boosting that 1 line. We'll get this Twilight Council, but it's a little late. There's a lot of Mutalisks. We have more gateways going down. The Protoss is falling behind in supply. We're going to see a lot of Mutalisks, a lot of Zerglings here. And it looks like we have a 4th base going down as well. It looks like our Protoss player is going to go straight up into picking this... Our Zerg player, I'm sorry, is going to try to pick the Protoss apart. He's got a bunch of Mutalisks camped out over there. Zerglings run in, but there's nothing defending this back line, so he will focus on more probes. He's going to attack the Nexus directly. Kills a bunch of probes. Back down to 47, despite not running on the next time. Tried to get the Colossus, but can't. The Stalkers are in the way. And so we should see... It looks like a number of the probes got away, but not all of them. Should see some transferring back to this Nexus shortly. 2 cannons going down for defense. But our Protoss player is falling very, very heavily behind in supply at this point. More Mutalisks. We have 2-2 starting. Carapace level 1 for flyers. This 4th is being mined strictly for gas, it seems. Mutalisks fly in here, cancel a bunch of pylons, slow down these upgrades, slow down Blink. Zergling is running in at the same time. They're taking quite a shellacking from these Colossi. Few brave probes trying to chase down those Zerglings. These cannons do go up, so this natural is a little more defended, but again, we're back down to 50 probes for Protoss. And it's 112 supply to 159. We have this Mutalisk cloud, keeps getting bigger. 10 more Mutalisks, 44 more Zerglings on the way. And we do have a Templar Archives going down, but Storm is a long way off. Very long way off. Two Zerg fly in, snipes a sentry, and goes away. We'll see what his next move will be. It's now 179 supply. More Mutalisks flying in, but they don't want to engage these Stalkers. They don't want to lose necessarily. But Mutalisk kind of is getting very scary, so he can probably take out all this anti-air if he wants to. 30 Mutalisks, and we're going to see the Zerg player go for it. Focus is down to Colossi immediately. Zerglings go for the Stalkers. Blink is not done. Templar are not ready. GG is called. There is no way for the Protoss to get out of this. And the game's over. So that's it. So Apple II takes the series 3-2 with a reverse sweep, taking the ace match. And that's it for week 6. So we will see you again at week 7. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.